Hi, I'm Amanda, and I'm 36 years old. The past few months have been really hard for me. I've had to relearn a lot because of what my husband, Franklin, did, but thankfully, someone kind helped me avoid even more pain. Let me tell you about the people in my life. First, there's my sister, Isa. She's 6 years younger than me and very pretty. When we were kids, we didn't get along. I was a nerd, and she was popular. She picked on me a lot and seemed jealous, though I never understood why. Our mom tried to help us get along, but it didn't work. When I went to college, we barely talked. Later, when she was a teenager and I had graduated, we reconnected. Our relationship got better, but we were never very close. That was the best we could do, and I was okay with that. Then, there's my ex-husband, Franklin. We met at work and hit it off. After 3 years of dating, we got married. We worked hard, bought a house together, and settled in. Since I earned more, the house was in my name. 2 years into our marriage, Franklin brought up having kids. Honey, I want to talk to you about something. Please keep an open mind. Okay, what is it? I was thinking, we've been together a while now. Maybe we should start a family. You know how I feel about that. I do, but we have the money, and wouldn't it be cute to have little versions of us running around? Kids are a big responsibility. We're responsible. I'll help, I promise. Just think about it, okay? Even though I didn't really want kids, I gave in because Franklin kept pushing the idea. We had a son first, then a daughter 3 years later. In the beginning, Franklin helped a lot, but that changed fast. Suddenly, I was doing everything at home, including taking care of the kids. After our first child, Franklin insisted I quit my job because he had gotten a promotion. I didn't want to, but I eventually gave in. To keep myself busy, I started hosting dinners. I invited my mom, my sister, and my mother-in-law when she was in town. Over time, I got used to my new life and even started enjoying it. Franklin and I seemed fine. I had a difficult birth with my second child and nearly died. It affected me, but I thought our relationship was still okay. I had no idea how wrong I was. One day, while cleaning our bedroom, I found a pair of underwear that wasn't mine. My stomach dropped. I tried to brush it off, but deep down, I knew what it meant. Franklin was cheating on me. At first, I was in shock. Then, I was furious. I needed to know who he was cheating with. I sent Franklin a picture of the underwear and asked him about it. Then, I checked his laptop and went through his social media messages. At first, I didn't find anything suspicious, but I kept digging. And then, I saw it. My sister's name showed up everywhere. At first, I didn't think much of it, but when I read their messages, I felt sick. There were pictures and videos of them in bed together, love messages, plans for Franklin to leave me. I ran to the bathroom and threw up. Then, I called Franklin, but he didn't answer, so I called Isa. Hey, what's up? She said casually. What's up, me? Are you sleeping with Franklin? Yeah, for a while now. Why? Because you're boring. And being my sister didn't stop me. You thought that was okay? I was helping you, keeping Franklin busy so you could focus on the kids. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We didn't plan for it to go this far, okay? But he kept hitting on me, and he's a great guy. But he was my husband. How could you do this? I just want what's best for Franklin, and if I'm best for him, so be it. You're disgusting. I hung up and just lay there, crying. How did my life come to this? Eventually, I had to pull myself together because my baby woke up crying. I went through the day pretending everything was fine for my kids. When my oldest asked where their dad was, I lied and said he was working late. But as the night dragged on, I got worried. It was nearly 11 p.m., and Franklin still wasn't home. He wasn't answering his phone. Neither was Isa. Exhausted, I went to bed. Maybe I'd wake up and find out it was all a bad dream. But the next morning, Franklin's things were gone. His clothes, his belongings, everything. He had left while I was asleep, without saying a word. I couldn't believe it. He didn't even try to explain. I didn't have time to fall apart. My kids needed me. I got them ready, dropped my oldest at school, and took my youngest to my mom's house. Mom noticed something was wrong. I was quiet, lost in my thoughts. All I could think about was how I would raise my kids alone. Finally, she couldn't take it anymore. Okay, enough. What's wrong? I took a deep breath. I don't know how to say this. Just start from the beginning. So, I did. And when I woke up later, I heard my baby crying and my mom yelling. I ran out and saw my mom on the phone, looking upset. She hung up and seemed surprised to see me. She said sorry for the noise but didn't explain. I knew she had been arguing with ISA. For the next few days, Mom stayed with us. It was easier for one person to move than three. ISA kept trying to contact Mom, but she told me to block ISA. It felt good to have someone understand my pain. Later, I found out from friends that Franklin and ISA got married. My friends were shocked and asked me what happened. It was embarrassing to explain, but they were supportive. They all cut ties with Franklin and ISA. I also learned they got married the day after Franklin left us. It hurt, but I wasn't surprised. When I told Mom, she was furious. She's usually calm, so seeing her that angry was surprising. Mom helped us financially even though she didn't have to. She also helped me get job interviews because I wanted to work now that Franklin was gone. Taking care of the kids was tough, and when they asked about Franklin, I had to hold back tears, but we managed. A week later, I got a letter from Franklin. I didn't want to read it. I guessed it was an apology, but I was done with him. A week was too late to try fixing things, especially after he abandoned us. So, I burned the letter. Later, I was curious about what it said, but I reminded myself that nothing he wrote would change how I felt. The next day, Mom and I took the kids to the fair. We had fun, and for the first time in a while, I laughed and enjoyed myself. That night, Mom and I had some wine, and I told her about the letter. I got a letter from Franklin yesterday. Oh, what did it say? I don't know. I burned it. You burned it? Yes. I didn't want to deal with whatever he had to say. What if it was something important? It didn't look like legal papers. It was probably a weak apology or him asking for his stuff back. How are you feeling about everything now? Today was a good day, but it's still hard. The kids keep asking about their dad. I don't know what to tell them. It's getting better, but only a little. I'm always here for you, and I want you to know, I'm cutting ISA off. Everything I have will go to you and the kids. Mom, that means a lot, but are you sure? ISA is still your daughter. What she did is unforgivable. I raised both of you better than this. She is no longer my daughter. I knew that must have been a hard decision for Mom. I couldn't imagine cutting off my own kids, no matter what, but I was grateful for her support. 3 days later, someone knocked on the door. I wasn't expecting anyone. Mom was at work, and no one else visited us. I opened the door carefully and saw 2 men in black suits. I only opened it a little and asked who they were. They said they were lawyers and handed me a note and a check. The check was in my name, and it was for $750,000. I was shocked. I told them it must be a mistake, but they assured me it wasn't. They told me to read the note. The note started with, "Thank you for saving me." It was from my mother-in-law, Sonia. She wrote that she had come to visit 3 days ago but no one was home. She called Franklin, who lied about not being able to get inside. She knew something was wrong and pressured him until he told her everything. She was disgusted by what he had done. Sonia felt sorry for me and the kids. She decided to leave all her money to us instead of Franklin. She thanked me for protecting her from making a mistake by trusting him. The lawyers told me that Sonia had been very sick and had passed away the day before. She wanted me to have the money immediately to take care of the kids. I cried. Sonia had always stood up for what was right. Franklin was afraid of her, but I had always found her kind. She kept her promise and helped us until the end. A few days later, Franklin called. I already knew what he wanted, but I answered anyway. "What did you do? What do you mean?" "You know exactly what I mean, Franklin. You'll have to be more specific. Why weren't you home that day? I told you to be there." "Oh, was that what the letter said? You didn't read it?" "No, I burned it. You betrayed me. My mother was going to help me, but you stole the money." "That's funny, coming from you. You left your family, and now you're only calling because of the inheritance. I did what was best for me, and your mother did what was best for us. Don't ever contact me or the kids again. Goodbye." After that, everything moved fast. I filed for divorce and got full custody of the kids. Franklin tried to fight for the inheritance, but Sonia had made it clear it was mine. He didn't win. Franklin and ISA kept trying to get money from me, but I refused. Life got better after that. I saved some money for the kids' college and invested the rest. Mom retired, and I started working. The kids have accepted that their dad isn't coming back. When they're older, I'll tell them everything. It still hurts, but I know things will only get better from here.